Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we're going to talk about what makes me sad, sometimes what makes me cry, and what really ticks me off. It is envy. Envy, another one of the seven deadly sins. And welcome once again to Catholic Splaining. Prepare yourself. You are about to be Catholic Splained. Catholic Splained about envy. But like all of the seven deadly sins, sometimes called the seven capital sins, they are universal. It This is one of those that is not necessarily connected to religion. You can be a complete atheist, not believe in anything, but need to know about these and need to avoid them because it's not good for you. Envy is bad. And we're going to look and see why. Also, we're going to look at the signs of envy. How do you know you're envious? How do you know someone else is envious? And please feel free to chime in the chat. Welcome to everyone that is coming in. Always great to see you. And I'm going to put this question of what are you envious? Oh boy, because we all have it. If you don't have it, you are lying. Much like all of the seven deadly sins, everyone has a proclivity to these. It's part of being human, part of the dark side of being human, is it not? Well, hello there. Hello. We are joined by one of my wrenches. It is Chrysanth. Thank you for being here. One of my cousins, a fellow flower. We're talking about envy. Of what are you envious, my friends and neighbors? And notice I did not end this one with a preposition. I prepared myself. Of what are you envious? Usually it's the thing that you desire the most for yourself. And again, just like all of the seven deadly sins, they can be, how do I say, they're natural, but when and how are they bad? That's what we're going to have a look at today. So, well, I mean, and why is it considered deadly? Let me go ahead and share it again. I forgot to unshare. Now I shall share. We're going to first look at the catechism to see how they define the envy. This is 2539. This time around, I remembered to define what we are talking about. Envy. Envy is a capital sin. It's sometimes called capital sin, deadly sin. That's why it's called capital punishment. Now you know. Capital deadly. It refers to the sadness at the sight of another's goods and the immoderate desire to acquire them for oneself, even unjustly. The second part, I think, is a little more on the head. Immoderate desire to acquire them for oneself, even unjustly. Like if I see someone with something I want, it's not necessarily bad to say, I would like to have that for myself. But it's when it's immoderate desire, like way over the top. And then if you go to acquire that or take that from someone unjustly, or even justly, frankly, if envy is your motivation. Check this out. When it wishes grave harm to a neighbor, it is a mortal sin. Dun, dun, dun. What's a mortal sin? That's the one that you will go to HE double hockey sticks if you do not repent. So bad. It must be repented. Grave. When you see grave in Catholicese, it's really bad. Grave matter. Whenever you hear the word grave, it is a great concern. So, for example, I want that chick's husband. So I wish he would die. or worse, I even go about making sure he dies. Envy is what leads to that. Crescent says, envy, does it have to be physical or can it be an attitude, as in being envious of a person's personality? I guess it could be. Again, if it's an immoderate desire, and if you want to wish grave harm on them. But grave harm can also be if you want them to lose their livelihood, if you want them to lose their family, want grave harm to happen to them. Like, I can be envious of a person's personality, but if I'm like, I hope this person gets burned up in a fire and then is ugly or something, yeah, it's really an issue. Hello. Well, hello, Deef. Welcome from Canada. Hello, Deef. Oh, I should say hello, fellow Catholic. Why, hello. Then we're Catholic splaining to each other today. Yes. I think Catholic splaining is good for Sunday because Jesus. So there. We were on the 4th Sunday of Lent. Almost getting to the pink Laudate Sunday. Or is it Gaudate Sunday? It's one of the two. I think it's Laudate Sunday. Whatever it is, we're going to have pink. Gosh, Lent is always a good time for this because it forces you to look at yourself and knock it out of you. I believe occasionally sometimes people focus a little too much of it on, I'm going to give up candy, I'm going to give up drink, I'm going to give up movies. But for it to be really efficacious, it needs to be something you really truly need to remedy in your life. And so it can be an internal thing. For example, for Lent, I gave up. What did I give up? I gave up inordinate caring about the world, about social media, about things that are just not good for me to care about. Chrisanne says, are you going to do the heavenly virtues after the deadly virtues? Deadly sins, yes. Well, I might go into more detail, but I like to talk about the opposite virtue. For example, with pride, what was the opposite virtue? It was humility. What is the opposite virtue of envy? Why, I believe I have it. Oh, wait, let me find it. Oh, if I'm making anyone car sick, I'm sorry. Gratitude. Gratitude is the opposite virtue. So practice gratitude. Oh, sorry, gratitude. Gratitude. No, not gratitude. Gratitude. So be grateful for what you have. And also try to genuinely be happy for others. Sometimes it's really hard. I'm giving away my state secrets since if I'm being extra kind to someone, it's probably because I was tempted to be the opposite. So I'm like, darn it, now I've got to do something nice. Got to do something nice. Okay, I don't want to make anyone car sick, so I'm going to stop the screen if you are watching the screen and go back. Yes, gratitude. I should probably make that after the definition. Wait, why is this freaking thing not working? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. So, okay, now I've got it where it says envy is a capital sin. Present, share screen, Chrome tab. Going back. What does St. Augustine say about this? Well, I'm glad you all asked. Why, St. Augustine has to say, envy is the diabolical sin. Dun, dun, dun. Diabolical. From envy are born hatred, detraction, calumny, joy caused by the misfortune of a neighbor, and displeasure caused by his prosperity. This is where things can get a little bit gray because there is such a thing as Schadenfreude. I have been guilty of Schadenfreude. But when it goes into the inordinate and detraction, people try to take away from someone's reputation. Calumny. It's been a while since I've thought about calumny. Okay, yeah, making false and defamatory statements about someone in order to damage their reputation. Slander is a part of that, and libel is as well. Defamatory. But detraction can be a part of it as well. For example, even if it's true, why are you making this public? Why are you trying to bring this down upon somebody? hmm Detraction is not good. Oh my gosh. Speaking of detraction, Maple, my kitty cat here is detracting from this conversation. It's why I don't like pretty much have anything to do with people who practice detraction regularly. And detraction also, I promise you, never makes you look good. Never. I'll make a bit of a distinction between venting. We all vent, don't we? But venting is also something that's done in private, hopefully done around people you can trust. That's a natural part of letting steam go. Detraction is doing it publicly and doing it with the wanting to harm someone. And again, you usually don't look good. Yo, says Matt G. He did not bring the bacon, but that is okay because it is the afternoon. So it would be a brunch if it was if it was bacon. My gosh, I know why my cat is so needy right now. It's because I've been dog sitting and I have to stay overnight over there. So she's like, "Why did you leave me?" Yeah, someone's kitty wants attention. Yes, she is envious of my attention. Envious. Now, can a cat though get away with it? Yes, because cats are not capable of sin. I probably vent too often to be healthy. Gosh, I wish she would shut up. You're talking too much. Um, yeah, that's something else to keep in mind is, are you venting too much? Yeah, anytime in general, actually, anytime you find you're doing too much of something, that's the time to reevaluate. Deef said, also never watch Interview with an Exorcist right before going to bed. Oh, is that the one that was on Catholic Answers? Or did they did an interview with an exorcist, I know. Or is it that book? Yeah. Actually, there's nothing to be afraid of though, 'cause that's the whole thing about this Satan, the devils, and all that. It's much ado about nothing because he's a loser. He can't hurt you. But when in doubt, of course, you can just take some holy water and go crazy. Why not? I definitely watched. I watched the Michael Knowles one recently. Okay, Michael Knowles. I am not familiar with him. The Exorcist that was on Catholic Answers. He's a real exorcist. I mean, well, I mean, if you're an exorcist, you're a real one, but rather he was the one up in a diocese of which I am familiar. That's how I was able to get some insight from him. I also met a whole bunch of them when I went to a convention in Ireland about the updating of the rite. All right, Michael Knowles. Do you know who it was that he interviewed? It was a bunch of British exorcists. British exorcists are really interesting. They're very British about it. Who's what can I say? It's Lent. Hey, why not? Why not? Oh, why hello. It is Steve Kenobi. Hey Teresa, I found that Christianity was easy to grasp. Oh yeah, I am so jealous of this man. Okay, you said it in public, so I can say what was said in private. He's like, it seems to me like blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had to read the entire Summa Theologica to grasp that. And he just got it. Gosh, it made me sick. Oh, does that make me envious? Maybe it does. It also shows that things can be grasped with reason alone. Let me see. You mentioned City of God as well. Yes, that's a good book. Well, St. Augustine's a good writer. The Lord's Prayer is more power than people can possibly understand. Yeah, absolutely. Or just say Lord's Prayer, say a Hail Mary. You know who really hates, Satan really hates, is Saint Joseph. His nickname's the Terror of Demons. The man that God Almighty chose to look after the Jesus, to raise the Lord himself and be the guardian of Mother Mary. The Ark of the Covenant. Hey, speaking of Hail Mary, okay. Oh wait, you're saying hail. Hello, Adega Outlaw. Thank you for being here. Yes, got you to sin. I went on. The amount of sinning you've. Oh, never mind. He's got me to sin. He's got me. Well, you didn't get me to blaspheme. I accidentally blasphemed because of the dog. But it's not a mortal sin if it like blurts out of your mouth. Well, I didn't really quite blaspheme, but it's like I did not intend to do it. But that's why it's a good thing we have the right of reconciliation. Well, the sacrament, of course, and before mass. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if you were writing for D&D, Steeg. Let me grab the link, and it'll be on my other account because of reasons. I don't have it on my thing here. Yeah. And this is very interesting. I said at the beginning, I don't know if you were here, Steve, that you don't even necessarily have to believe in God to take edification from this and to know this, because these are universal. These things are. Let me see. And yeah, we will be finishing in time for Conan. Let me share this out. All right. Yes, I'm going to start a new message. Bum, bum, bum. Envy's bad. It's bad. Oh, that means I've got to get my earphones. I'll get them ready. Deef says, dogs cannot make people sin. Oh my God. Okay, you don't know this dog. You do not know this dog. Dogs are gifts from God. Cats, on the other hand, yeah. Steve would agree with you. Well, about my cat, he doesn't like my cat. He's mean. I'm getting my earphones ready. This dog, I don't know where he got it because I'm dog sitting, but he got it. He found like one of those snack-sized pretzels, and I'm like, oh really? What a jerk! Go away. And then he came back with a single portion size of oatmeal. I do not know where he was getting these from. So yes, that caused me to curse. Did I say hi? Hello, Tommy. Hello, ankle nibbler. Oh my gosh, ankle nibbler. Okay. Well, look who's here. It is the squirrel himself, all the way from the future. It's none other than Steve Kenobi.
Hi. Sorry about the dog. It's Oat to know better.
Oh, yeah, you witnessed my blasphemy.
Yeah, sounds graining.
Oh, wait, you're not going to make me cuss on a stream on Sunday. Yeah, if the dog doesn't like the cat, it's because the cat is doing something wrong, says Steve. If the dog is misbehaving, it's because the cat made him. Well, to be fair to this dog, he's living right now with 4 cats. Usually he's only living with 3, but there was an extra animal there because the people that went up
kind of like DMing for 4 female players for D&D.
I know exactly what you meant. I'm just growling right now because,
because I was
my
right.
gosh. Well, that's by your choice. Your choice.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, Deef says that poor dog. Yeah, well, he's being plenty spoiled right now. But yeah, I think that it's somewhere back in an area that I don't even know where he's getting it, because I've been looking. It's almost as though the people I'm house sitting for, they had a grocery bag and they didn't put it away, and somehow the dog found it. Hostman Socrates. Why, hello, Socrates. Now, let's not clutch our pearls over envy, pun intended. Yeah, envy's bad. Tommy says, and lo, there was a rumbling, and the great pig was set upon the wicked. Oh, and that's the book of Revelation, right? Okay. So yeah, we talked about the opposite. The opposite virtue, Stieg, is gratitude. So if you're
Hmm.
finding yourself envious, you need to practice gratitude and kindness toward the
Okay.
person, especially. Yeah. Oh, you sound
I'm
skeptical.
kind of wonky with that one, uh, personally, but sometimes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Basically, kind of people are always looking to get what they don't have, and
Mhm.
they're envious of, someone else having what they want. But those
Mhm.
people in general uh, will never be happy once they get the thing they want, because they have never learned how to appreciate what they already have to begin with.
Wow, very well said. Yeah. Well, and I said earlier that people who do that also don't look good. You'll never look good by expressing that.
Nope. Like I said, Christianity is easy.
Oh, quit it. If you could see all the books I have, I mean, literally about a, at least 1,000, and I'm not exaggerating. That's how many books I have. Like all several versions of the Bible, all the writings of the saints, of the popes, of the Summa friggin' Theologica. And I'm jealous. Oh, okay, I'm envious of Stieg. I guess I'm not sounding very Christian.
It's not my fault. I
I
just
know.
thought about it some.
Hostman Socrates says, I have to be kind of even to my weirdo neighbors. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're tempted to do something bad, you do the opposite. Stieg is fluent in guinea piggy, says Tommy. Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's hogwash.
Okay. Moving on, the commandment that deals with envy is the 10th commandment, of course, and it requires that envy be banished from the human heart. When the prophet Nathan wanted to spur King David to repentance, he told him the story about the poor man who had only one ewe lamb that he treated like his own daughter, and the rich man who, despite the great number of his flocks, envied the poor man and ended up stealing his lamb.
So he lambasted them.
Yes, I mean, what a jerk. Can you imagine doing that? Especially things like lambs and livestock, that was gold back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, envy can lead to the worst crimes. Yeah. Well, we were talking about that, and that's what makes envy so dangerous. It can lead to all the other sins and crimes like murder, theft, wanting to take something from somebody. Oh dear, Steve, you've
Yeah.
got a
It was
partner in crime.
it was a breach of protocol.
Oh, it was a bad move, says Deef. My
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah. And through the devil's envy, death entered the world. Yeah. Envious people, you see them. They're not happy. They're very unhappy.
Yeah, yeah. Why does this guy get subs and I don't?
Well, that's also being a whiny little bia. Well, wait, I'm not gonna curse because this
Oh,
is
you
my.
meant bitch, I think. I'm allowed to curse on a Sunday. I'm kind of an atheist.
No.
So I took your sin upon me.
Oh, how kind of you!
See? And now,
See,
and
you're
now you did gratitude, so you're not going to hell.
yay. Tommy says the envious are not always desiring for themselves, but jealous of what others have that they do not.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't have to be you getting something you want from someone
hmm
else. It's just the fact that someone else has it as well.
hmm Yeah. I don't want it, but they can't have it. Yeah. Also, yeah, and that's the difference between jealousy and envious. Because envious is where you'll do whatever it takes to take from someone, and it's inordinate. Afternoon, all. Sorry to be late. Well, don't worry, Archer Cullen. He's also from the future.
I
Thank you
have
for
to
being
admit,
here.
I'm very much envious of Tommy's action figure collection, and if I could get away with it, I would steal it, every damn Transformer, and I would lock my door and play with them.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. That is
Yes,
the
but Tommy
definition of
knows
envy.
this, and Tommy knows this, and he understands.
Oh, okay, but that's what's wrong with envy because you will wish harm on somebody to do it.
No, no, no. No. I just want them.
Well, you said you'd steal it because, like, technically, one of the definitions of envy is like you'd be willing to steal
Yeah.
for it.
Yes. Absolutely. And Tommy would have more space in his apartment, and his wife would be happy. So it's for the best.
Now that's what we call trying to justify your
Yes.
sin.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But holy shit, you should see his collection. It's insane. It's so awesome.
Oh well, yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
11
yeah.
out of 11 out of 10. And if anyone in the chat wants to see Tommy's action figures and all that, sub to his channel. He does superb work with retro toys.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I had to mute myself a second. I've got coffee. The also another thing that people are envious of, well, anyone's success, like someone that gets a job, you're envious of someone's wife, the boyfriend, girlfriend, all of those things. It could even be envious of somebody's talent. Fiction, of course, but in the movie Amadeus, that was the case where the fictional Salieri was envious of Mozart's talent. Deef
He
says,
made
if
it.
you worked.
He made a note of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't harmonious. It was
Deef says,
orchestrated.
oh my gosh. Deef says, if you worked hard and made the right sacrifices, you could purchase your own Transformers. Oh.
Correct, but not if you're a lazy bastard.
That is sloth.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
See, Tommy agrees. I actually made a devil sign, didn't he? Twice.
Yeah, technically, I guess that's what it is. Yeah, but it is interesting that the whole thing about Satan. A lot of people don't realize like what ticked him off was Satan was envious of the status that humans and all them were, that what we were going to get. When Jesus came, he's envious of Mary too. The whole Genesis 3:15. He wanted to be the coolest person in God's eyes. He was not willing to accept that stupid humans could also be special to God. All right, Stieg, said Chrysant. That got a chuckle out of me. Tip of the hat to you, sir. Well, yay! Look at you, Stieg. You're giving chuckles.
Yes.
Deep, yeah, well done. Deef says, anyway, I gotta go. I have to take my dog to visit puppy pals. Oh, okay. Well, no wonder you were so defending the dog.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dee, for stopping by. Always great to see you, and have a great afternoon. Yay. Okay. We'll see what this is the last one, I think, from the Catechism. It says, envy represents a form of sadness and therefore a refusal of charity. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you know that you could also have self envy?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's where nostalgia comes from in a way. You envy your own past because you can't get it anymore. Like your childhood, if you had a fond childhood.
Oh.
So you're
And
envious of yourself back then.
you are correct. And just like all envy, it's when it becomes an inordinate desire.
Yeah. People
Wow.
get caught up with nostalgia. I know big time. I'm playing the old video games I always used to play, and we, I spoke to a YouTuber some years back. She was doing several streams about nostalgia, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that she believed that when people collect old stuff, like action figures or old video games, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
it, it's people trying to re-buy their childhoods,
Hmm.
which is something to think about, at least, right? I think there's something in it because you're purchasing back your fond memories physically.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a good point. And the fact that, like in your case, just playing old games, and I feel that way too often. You're, as long as you're just doing it out of fun or something, but if you maybe do something to the effect of, oh, you're envious of when you were young and hot, so you try to, like, leave your wife to try to get a hot chick because you're trying to relive what it was like
Oh,
to.
oh, uh, a friend of mine, or well, two friends of mine, their brothers, they lost their mom um 8 years ago, I think it was.
Mhm.
And one of the brothers told me that the other brother, when it happened, he just sat down in front of an old computer and just sat there and played a video game he played when he was a kid. Didn't
Mm,
talk to anyone. He just sat there and did that. It worked for him though,
mm,
but it's kind of, you know, it makes a bit of sense. Tommy has a great point too. He said it works both ways because you can
mhm.
also be grateful for the past you had. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I think as long as it doesn't cause harm, and that's why we said earlier that the opposite virtue to envy is gratitude. So if you're feeling yourself n- being envious, that you need to practice gratitude.
But
Yes.
but maybe the happier childhood you had, the greater the sense of loss when you get older
Yeah.
and everything's way more complicated.
Yeah. No, very good points. Another situation that maybe would be self envy, a fictional character from, if remember Napoleon Dynamite, where that one guy, the brother was always remembering the time that he was a football star and trying to take pictures of himself throwing the football because he was just so obsessed with, his past. Um, that's a very interesting point. What does he say? Envy often comes from pride, and that's why pride is the mother of all deadly sins. Again, pride leads to envy, leads to
Uh, pr-
suffering, leads to the dark side.
Pride can lead to a lot of the other ones.
Yeah, Hmm. Well, and that's
You
why.
know, if you're filthy rich and you feel like you have to show it off, it can lead to sloth, right? Look at,
Hmm.
I'm just eating, big steaks every day. Look at me, right?
Yeah, sloth and well, gluttony.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Absolutely.
I don't have to work or anything because I'm filthy rich. Usually happens with the nobility, or
Hmm.
used to,
Yeah. Well, anyone with abundance. Yeah. Uh,
which led to gout, didn't it?
yes, it did.
Which was considered
Or
um, a nobility's disease.
now that you mention it, you are correct. You wouldn't find peasants doing that.
Yeah,
Um, Archer Collins says that's why Pride gets. Oh dear, Pride gets an entire month. The others barely get a day.
excellent points.
Well played.
Well, the archer made an excellent point. Imagine that. Thanks for
Yes.
the tip.
Oh.
Bullseye, sir.
Okay, and it says the
He just
baptized.
he just he just shafted the rainbow people. Okay, I'll stop.
The baptized person should train himself to live in humility. Yes, that's the the advice to us trained to live in humility, but of course, good advice for anybody. Uh-oh. Archer, I bow to your praise, or you
Mm,
bow to his praise.
yeah, I
Nice.
assure you, I was not stringing you along.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. Move it along. I do like to keep these to an hour, and we have Conan D&D coming up.
Which
Oh,
and
we
usually
sorry.
includes archery,
It does. It does.
and it's not in an hour. It's in 30 minutes.
Oh, yes, yes. But I mean, my streams, I usually tend to
Oh,
do these ones for an hour, and in specific this time because of the Conan D&D. And I'm at my house right now, so I need to go over to the dog sitting thing because I can't leave the dog, especially the dog, for long. So okay, now we're going to get away from the catechism. This is from mental health website WebMD. I always like to give my sources. This is from psychologists as some secular observation about envy. Though, as I said earlier, that the observations from the catechism can be universal, and they are. Oh my gosh, Archer Collins says, "I trust you're not making me the butt of your humor."
no, sir, that would be asinine of me. But it would make you crack up, wouldn't it?
Oh gosh, no, no. Archer, he's usually on Father Miller's Friday show, and he's a real archer, and he goes around
Yeah,
doing reenactments. Am I correct on that? Over there in England, and he's got a
yeah.
magnificent.
I think it does because there's been an increase of corpses found with arrows in them.
Oh no, I don't think they shoot at people at those, but it has a magnificent accent. All right, you aren't unlike you. He does not have the posh English accent, so uh, he doesn't take after your papa.
I have a Norwegian accent, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So you
You
say.
know what he
I'm
should reenact though? The Battle of Agincourt. Just bring along a lot of friends and shoot the French with your longbows.
Don't take his advice. You'll end up in jail. Okay, Chrysanthus asking you, Steek, how do puns come so easily to you? You are so quick on the draw.
It's because when I'm on YouTube, I'm also a pundit.
Oh, well, I told you, I start to doubt my. The only time I've doubted my faith in the Almighty is the fact that you can do this in your second language. I can't even do it in my first, let alone the second.
Technically, my third, actually.
Oh, you're right. Because what'd you learn before English?
Well, no, we have two languages in Norway. We have regular and something called Old Norse-ish, or rather, it's called New Norse, but it's based on all the. It's a compilation language of all the dialects in Norway. It is a shit thing to learn, and it sucks that we have to. It's useless.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I stand corrected. So that, oh my gosh, that
I
means
have
that you,
hatred. I have hatred for it.
oh my, for your, well, I guess it makes sense if it's nothing that you're going to use. It would be like us learning Old English. It wouldn't make sense, would it?
Yeah, yeah, kind of like you guys having to learn Shakespeare English, right?
Yeah. Eesh. Well, so wait, you have English, well, okay, Norwegian, the other Norwegian, English, and then after English, it's German, and after German for you, it was French.
Oh, I can't hold a conversation in French. I know bits and pieces, and I've forgotten most of the bits and pieces.
Okay.
German as well. It's way below average.
Well, but
So I'm
still
not
probably.
fluent in either of them. But then again,
So,
we do know Swedish and Danish, which are different but close enough. Kind of like
yeah.
Portuguese and French. Sorry, Portuguese and Spanish.
Hmm.
But
Well, they're, sorry.
you get those automatically, I guess.
Yeah. Not quite a dialect. I think it's more than a dialect, but all that. Well, that's fast. Okay, well, dang it. Okay. Archer Collins says, darn, I forgot you guys don't have a history of archery. The butts are the usually round targets. Oh, okay. So we
Oh,
didn't get your. Oh my.
I thought it was talking about actual asses.
Yeah, well, that's why you said asinine. All right. Miss Martin, that is I, my lady. It is indeed. It is indeed. One of these days I'm going to make one of those. I will not do it this Friday. I'll be flying. Hello, Teresa
Oh,
and Stieg, says Jacob.
update for you, Jacob. We're doing the first 5 chapters of Magician Apprentice for the next book stream on April 1st, I think.
Correct.
No joke.
Aha.
It's yeah. So if you want to chime in on that one as well, like you did with the Shanra once, you know, you have
Yay.
2 weeks or something to
To do that.
to
Yeah, you'll
yeah to
love
get
it.
going. Yeah, that one is one of my favorite books.
Yeah. And it's great too because we need to read it before you, those idiots get any images in your head about the bad, what it's not. All right, Archer Collins says close. We're actually based around 1347, just after Creasy, and my group actually goes there every year. Oh, really? Well, there you are. Yeah. See, you can just hop over the ocean and go watch them.
No, I would dress as a Viking and attack them and have them shoot at me with arrows. We need to be
that
authentic.
would
Yeah, I'll
that
just
would be.
slaughter a couple of people with an axe and then have them shoot at me.
Gee. Then attack a monastery.
Take the gold.
Yeah. Okay, his Archer Collin is speaking in Old English. Mary ist real Sommer ich with the Fugue the song. So something summer. Yeah, I you speak Old
I
English
think the
far
last
better.
bit. I think the last bit is bird song.
Oh, you see, he can even speak Old English better than I can.
Summer with bird song, something like
Yeah,
that. Am I on the right track, sir?
he probably is. See, now I'm envious of you. The Scandinavian languages are part of the Germanic family.
Yeah,
I think that's why German.
that's nothing to be jealous of.
No, I'm jealous of you because you could do all this. Stick, to be fair, your reply was valid, giving the double meaning. Well done, sir. Oh,
No,
and
thank
Jacob
you.
was saying, oh, well, thank you. Yay. Oh, Archer Collin goes, now you guys was well Christian by our time.
Okay,
Oh, sorry, go
I
ahead.
I screwed up. I thought it was something else. See, I don't know that stuff.
Yeah, well, 1347. So, yeah, what was his name? Olaf.
Olaf the Holy.
Mhm.
There's a church in his name in Trondheim, the
Oh,
Olaf's Church, old one.
yes. Uh, and that's like until I met you, that was the only real Norwegian name I knew because I only knew Olaf. Okay, so going to the psychology or the WebMD, this is some signs that you might be envious. You aren't happy for others when they achieve success.
What if you don't care?
Well, then it's not envy because
Yeah.
envy is the inordinate emotion and desire that leads you
Yeah.
to do bad things.
Because most often, unless it's a close friend, I'm kind of like, okay, that's good. And I don't
Yeah,
even, you know, but if it's a close friend that has worked hard for something, then yeah, happy for them.
yeah. So therefore, you're not envious. So yay. But yeah, I see what you're saying because it says you aren't happy. I maybe a better way that they could have worded this was it's like you're mad or you're envious or you like sit out and stew all night because someone got something you didn't.
Yeah. Oh, look, I wasn't that far off.
Yeah, see, Archer Collins says something like "It's merry while summer lasts." Was oh my gosh, you were close! Dang it! Archer Cullen says you can tell it's English because it's about the weather. Well, yeah, the song I know, "Summer is a coming in." That's also, you know, weather, summer, and the cuckoo loudly sing cuckoo.
Hmm.
Another person's success makes you feel unhappy. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Well,
it,
that one I can be guilty of if it's some proper asshole. You know the person's a piece of shit, and then they have success. And then like don't necessarily make you feel unhappy, but it's yeah, that's not good.
yeah, no, and that is fair. That's fair. And again, I think it's like if you let it control you, I I,
Yeah, I
I
mean
think
if you
that's the key.
if you know that person stabbed someone in the back to get their success, so it's built on shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you're like, dang it, that's not fair.
yeah. This person didn't earn it or deserve it, right?
Yeah. But on the other hand, you don't let it control your life, or you don't go and try to
Oh no,
destroy them
no, no,
or
no.
commit calumny. Were you there when we talked about calumny? Where people like will publicly try to slander somebody that they're envious of. That's what envious
Well,
people do.
any politician then,
Oh yes,
and
hmm
celebrity and what have you.
correct. Archer Collins says, loudly sing cuckoo. Yes, that is correct. Can you sing that song? Because it's supposed to be in a round, so we could sing it in a round on
No,
Father's
I don't
channel and
sing.
traumatize him.
Oh,
No, I'm
yeah,
not talking to Archer. I know you can't sing. Okay, I know you won't sing
yeah. You
because
don't know if I can or not.
I, I, m- everybody, everybody can sing unless they have something physically wrong with their larynx and stuff. So if you physically have your anatomy, you can sing. It is a choice,
Hmm.
or you have not been trained properly. Ah, you see, that's kind of what I was just saying. You feel the need to diminish someone else's success. So, and not just diminish or feel the need. I think these are the inclinations that are telling you that you are envious. But if you then do it, like I'm going to try to diminish
Yeah,
someone
it's
else's success.
it's it, it's like a 10 signs you're envious.
Yeah, precisely. hmm and then if you do it, as I say, and it only makes you look bad when you do that. Even if you're right, you're going to be wrong. You judge others negatively. Now,
Guilty.
okay. Yeah, I'm guilty too. Yeah. This is, I will argue with WebMD on this a bit because sometimes you need to judge others negatively, like if they're
I
dangerous to know.
I'm absolutely a get off my lawn kind of person.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, and like I said, there's sometimes that you do need to judge somebody negatively. It could, let's use an extreme example. Someone is someone's out there murdering people. Okay, you are going to judge that negatively. Or if someone is being unkind to someone else, yeah, I'll judge that all day. There's
Yeah.
never a reason to be unkind
Or
to
if someone
anybody.
likes Disney Star Wars or the Rings
No.
of Power.
Yeah, well, I will judge them for being stupid on that. Yes.
Yeah, which is negatively.
But oh, not putting anyone on the spot here, but what does it say about if somebody though allows that to consume them though?
You become a Darth and you gain power.
No, you don't gain power. Then that's not good. That's bad. But I think though this is correct in judging others negatively because judging it can have the connotation of judging uh, judging versus discerning. I think discerning is good, judging is bad. I guess unless you're a
Oh,
judge.
oh yeah. Oh, I judge. Oh yeah, my eyes narrow as I judge, and I stare at the person with disdain.
Yeah. Well, you can have disdain also without sinning and without being envy. Because yeah, if I
Oh
disdain
yeah,
something,
I'm definitely not envious while I do that.
yeah,
I'm just judging.
yeah. Okay, Archer Collins says, when we sing it, the men only did for the chorus. So all I really know is sing cuckoo, new sing cuckoo. Oh, well, that's the best part. That's the fun part. The men only did the chorus. Well, the fact that you guys are singing this song is quite amazing. One of these days, I know the verse too. It's fun. It's also one that you do with children. Children love this song. And my Tommy says my pigs are greedy, but they can't help it. Yeah, well, you see, animals technically animals are not capable of moral behavior, or and then by the same manner, they're not capable of sin.
Yeah, with the exception of dogs sometimes.
How can a dog sin?
No, they can be moral.
How?
I've seen a dog give food to other dogs.
No way.
Yeah, you can find videos of it all the time, and they'll bring stuff to people. And also crows. Have you seen that? But people have left nuts for crows,
Uh-huh.
and then like if they keep doing it for a while, the crows will leave them gifts, usually shiny things.
You're right. I've heard of that because someone said that
Yes.
they wanted to do it just to see what they would bring.
Yeah, it definitely has happened.
Okay, now that I'm thinking of it,
So
even a
some
cat.
animals with more intelligence than others, because the rest of them are operating on instinct.
Yeah. Well, even cats will do that. They'll bring you a gift. Like they'll bring
Yeah.
you a mouse or for me, a gecko. It's go away. So maybe cats aren't completely evil. But good point. I want to see those videos about dogs sharing. I've never seen a dog share.
Mm, I've seen that.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Seen
I'm
a
going
seen a dog bring a toy over to a baby as well, a human baby.
to. Are you sure, though, it just doesn't want the baby to shut up?
Um, Still, it's still a moral thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Next time you're on with Father Miller, put him on the spot, Archer, and ask him because I'd be curious about that. If you're seeing moral behavior, is that yeah. Okay. Archer Collin has a good point. I wonder if envy is in part responsible for woke and cancel culture, the insecure being envious of those with what they perceive as more power and influence. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Cancel culture.
it's especially the woke culture because that is rooted in narcissism.
Hmm.
Because it's all about portraying themselves as good people, so they won't be get attacked by the cancel culture, basically, and also to score virtue points, which is the most valuable currency on social media.
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah,
yeah, nothing will change my mind on that. It is rooted in narcissism, and social media fuels it.
absolutely. No, but you're exactly right. And since one of the definitions of envy is that you want something or you will harm somebody for something someone else has. Because sometimes I'll see people, especially on social media, I'm like, idiot or whatever, but I'm not going to go out and try and harm somebody. It's like, in a lot of what we're seeing in this, uh, I'm being cautious with how I word it, but people wanting what to be women and vice versa, the hatred that they will have, it is definitely rooted in envy. And again, they want to harm people. They want to take what other people have. Pacific, hello. Pacific 414, thank you for being here. And Thomas saying hello. Jacob Ironside said, I've seen dolphins recover people's phones they've dropped in the water.
Yes,
Wow.
I've seen that. Well, I've seen videos. I haven't seen them actually do it, but yes, dolphins will do that.
Wow. Well, do you have dolphins up there? I forgot. Is it too cold?
No, no, we
Okay.
don't have dolphins.
All right. You
Mostly
do have,
whales and stuff like that.
yeah,
Uh,
y'all eat
was
whale.
it porpoises?
Oh, yeah. That's of the same family.
Yeah.
All right. Archer Cloud says we generally use the Dumiri along with the German Verlangen, typically German about sad feelings and being cranky. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I have German blood in me. Well, and
Verlongen means longing, I think.
correct. Bet they find it hard to dial, though, says Archer. Ha ha, but I'm bummed. Hello, old man. Hello. Well, hey, welcome, everyone. If you have not already liked, shared, and subscribed, please consider doing so. We are happy people here on Miss Martin Muses, except when we're envious. Uh, I mean, several ways that I deal with envy before it gets there. I've mentioned this before that you do an examination of conscience every day, preferably in the morning, but definitely in the evening. Examine your conscience. And if you need to, go and, repent or say to yourself, okay, this is something that I need to work on in myself. And as much as it hurts, you do the opposite of what you want to do. It's like that dumb witch. I want to do this. I want to do that. So you do the opposite. You do something kind for the person that you are envious of. Hello, Phantom Hooligans. Thank you for being here. It's hard to do that, but it's a way that it keeps you from feeding that dark side of yourself. Archer Collins says, given that a lot of the worst behavior seems to come from those who do not seem to actually be part of whatever group they are agitating for, I wonder if they are envious of the minority status.
Yes, especially the victimhood.
Isn't that interesting? Yes, because the vast majority of a lot of these individuals that you will see, they will be Caucasian.
Hmm. And they'll blame white people for everything.
Even though they're white themselves.
So projecting.
Phantom Hooligans. Hope everyone is having a good day while we're I guess we are. Yeah, when we're not envious. Jacob Bard says, to clarify, I've seen videos of dolphins doing that. Yes. Okay. Well, and understandable. Well, and that's why, again, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to be negative about anybody, even someone that deserves it, it's going to hurt you. You're not going to hurt that other person. You're going to hurt yourself, and you're going to look like a little bitch. Okay, I said it. You know what I mean? That's the other thing. No one likes a whiner and a complainer. Tommy says there are a few I wouldn't mind unleashing rather than just waiting to get the word. Well, I'm putting the finger of judgment on that. You're at the end of the day, the person who does it is only going to hurt themselves because the other people aren't going to be hurt. Archer Collins says, glad that made sense. 200 characters do not make for easy explanation of complex ideas. No, they do not. They do not. And that's just the way it is. And Archer Collin, LOL. Oh, okay, so we're all laughing. We're all laughing here, and we're happy people here at Miss Martin Muses. Let's see. I want to go through. I think I got a few more, but we are going to need to wind this down because of Conan D&D. You're happy when others face setbacks. Yeah. Yeah, I think these are the signs that you might be envious. This is where there's a bit of a fine line between Schadenfreude, which I think is a natural feeling and not
Yeah,
necessarily a bad thing.
if someone steps in the obvious pile of shit of their own making, it's glorious. Sorry, I that's I enjoy that.
Yeah, the karma. What was it,
Yes.
that meme? It's called karma and it's pronounced ha ha ha.
Yep. Or
Archer
it's called karma and it's spelled "I told you so."
Uh-huh. Trust the Germans to have a word for it. Yes, German. Yeah, Schadenfreude. Yeah, they have the words for everything. Hi, all. Well, hello, Corey Cochran. Nice to see you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a natural feeling, and I have been guilty of it quite frequently. I think the key word is what then you do with that. Do you then bring it into the realm of unkindness and cruelty? And this is the hard thing, and I know this is why a lot of people have issues with Christianity, but I will stand by. I will die on this hill, and I will say that it's not just for Christians. I think you can see this using your reason, that it it that there are certain things that are always wrong, and one of the things that I'm very firm about is being unkind, even if someone deserves it, because you will find that it will come back on yourself, right? So people always say, "Oh, this turn the other cheek crap." It's like, yeah, sometimes it's really hard, and maybe it's not good, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you if you push out negativity, the negativity will come back on you one way or another. Is it, the whole yin and the yang and I guess karma's part of that as well, right? Because karma's not necessarily bad things happening to people that deserves it. The idea is also that if you do good things, good will come back on you. And it's hard. It's very hard. But I believe it's universal. Adiga Outlaw says, I can be happy when others face setbacks if their goal was to hurt or suppress others. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, that's what I would, call that happy. I would be satisfaction. It might be Schadenfreude. Again, I think the key word is if it crosses over into an action you do that would hurt somebody. Hey, Tommy. Oh, they're saying hi. They're saying hey. And Archer Collin agrees. Agreed. It can also be a case of someone getting their comeuppance, at least in your personal viewpoints. Yes, comeuppance is great, and but comeuppance and karma and all that. It's the same idea that if you put something out there, eventually it'll come back to bite you in the butt. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be in 5 years. But I promise you, it will happen. It will happen. Tommy says, this is why I let fate bring them to me and I don't seek them out. Yeah, or just let fate find them. Archer Collins says, I believe there is a line from the Bible, as ye sow, so shall you reap, which is not agricultural advice. Yes, that is one of my favorite lines. Sometimes I'll go, ye reap what ye sow. And there's also something fun about putting the ye in it, like using the old English. Yes, you reap what you sow.
Which is
And another
often followed up by that was the last straw.
yeah, no, but yeah. Also, you shall know them by their deeds. You'll judge them by their works. Jacob
It
Iron says,
also means, as you sow, so shall you reap. Um, Basically, if you plow a woman,
"Oh,
a smaller person will show up 9 months later.
I'm trying to keep this Sunday friendly. It's not going very well, but well, you are correct, and there used to be an expression called "you made your bed, now you're laying in it," or if you dance, you got to pay the fiddler, and that would usually come from that. Jacob Ironside said, "I've heard that turning the other cheek in Jesus' time was an insult to the person that slapped you." Yes, could also be an offhanded insult
Yeah, kind of like
because
you slap like a girl or something.
yeah, or it's like, "Oh, didn't hurt. Here's the other one." Yes and yes, because Jesus was capable of being a bit passive aggressive. Also, there's a is it Proverbs, Old Testament, that the complimenting your enemy is like pouring hot ashes on their head because they can't stand it. They want you to be an ass, a jerk back. And so, yeah, it's like, oh, turn the other cheek. In other words, like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. I believe, yeah, you're correct. I'll need to look that up though. Archer Collins says, here's a thought. If you break the camel's back with a straw, will it be able to pass through an iron needle?
I have to pop off now though because there's D&D in 10 minutes.
I know, and I got to pop off too for that same reason. So I'm just gonna get these last ones here. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you need to
Well,
pop off, Steve, go ahead
yeah.
and
I'm
just
I'm I'm
mention.
just I'm leaving.
Okay, leave, go.
See you
I'm right.
later.
I'm right behind you. See you in a few minutes. Yes. Okay,
Okay.
let's speak
Bye.
for a second. Okay, Jacob Ironside says I hadn't heard that, but it would not surprise me. Yeah, I've heard that before. And I think it makes perfect sense. Jesus was a rebel, like he was a table flipper. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of people don't like to think about that. They're like, what would Jesus do? It's like, well, he'd come in and not only did he flip tables, he also got out whips and started whipping people. It's like, anyone blast he did not like blasphemy. My temple shall be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. And if you're in Jesus Christ Superstar, you sing that in a really high pitch. And he also had some very strong words about people that would bring harm to children. Yeah. Well, I hope that Jesus was God. When you're God, you can do lots of stuff. Okay, I do have to go too for the exact same reason that Steve has to go, and we keep a pretty quick, strict schedule on our Conan D&D because it's what we do. So if you haven't ever played Conan D&D, or I guess probably a better expression of it would be Conan D20. I think sometimes I will use D&D, the Conan D&D and stuff so that people don't say, "What? What's that?" And it's like D&D but with Conan. All right. So, don't be envious. Don't be envious. Not only will it be bad for you, you'll look bad and your soul will start to rot. Gosh, I try not to have a rotten soul. It's hard. It's hard. But at the end of the day, you feel better. And if you want to get a last word in, it's unexpected, right? Unexpected. Well, always great to see you all. Let's see. We had Archer, we had Tommy, we had Deef, we had Chris Santh, we had a Dago Outlaw, Jacob, Phantom Hooligans, Old Man, Archer Collin, etc. If I'm missing anyone, Maya Maximal, Chris Santh, of course, my cousin, the other flower. We have, oh gosh, if I missed anyone, I am so sorry. I'm just having to wrap this up. Archer Collins says, not play Conan, but do play Castles and Crusade twice a month. Ooh. Let me know when that's going to be happening. I wouldn't mind looking at it on a channel. My pastor's sermon day was not loving yourself, but loving God with all your heart and all your mind. That darn right. Yep. And if you do that, then you also love yourself. It all goes towards the good. I'm going to be on Nina's channel tonight. We're going to be talking about Yellowstone. Also, Tuesday night, I'm going to be on Ryan Roger Athay's channel for another kind of interview, open discussion. What does he call it? Reality based. I have some Irish stuff coming up, Irish fairies, St. Patrick biography, and more Teresa Travels pictures of Ireland. And thank you all for joining me today in another discussion of the 7 deadly sins. We're on sin number 2. We had pride last week. We have envy this week. And have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. And be certain to not be envious.